Touch it, and then going to interclick 2, flirting with that zone, and then staying in the track, went to outer zone 2. Andrew Grindle last year had a struggle a little bit. I believe he was one of the guys that was having transmission issues.
Run, he got high. This driving is very atypical to see from Andrew Grindle. We know he's very comfortable on this track, so later we'll try to get a talk with him, figure out what was going on, so we have some more information to share with you. Here we go, initiation, Andrew Grindle, middle of the line so far, middle of the bank, as he's trying to get himself back up. It's going to generate a big gap for him and the chase driver. They come across the middle of the track. Like I said, that gap established, but it's difficult to figure out where to put it on because of that mid-line. We saw John Wyndham carry a much higher line before, but Andrew Grindle doing a good job wrapping around that last corner. Good angle, good smoke, good line as he comes across that last sweep. Got a sight lap again here. Yeah, Leo out here, and you see how he kind of hesitated a little bit on that initiation on the sight lap, but this is a sight lap, we promise. And then they're riding that outer edge, but able to flirt with disaster with that first wall, and kind of reading the track like you were saying before. I was not expecting them to flirt with that wall. Both of them flirt with the wall like they just did. I do see the rain being beneficial for the lower horsepower cars because they could actually get deeper in the zones compared to if it was drier conditions. For some of them, as long as they're not caught off guard by those conditions, it can be a big benefit. And the guys, and even when it comes to Formula Drift, you can tell which drivers have learned their craft in states where it rains a lot, and then that becomes really a problem for them. So here we go, real first battle. We have Leo in front, Andrew Grindle in the chase. Coming around that first corner, Leo doing a great job getting up on that wall again. He just did his sight lap. He copied and pasted that maneuver all the way into this one. Andrew Grindle just feathering that throttle, do what he can to get around the corner and stay close to him, mimicking. Good job transitioning at the right time. Both drivers staying on track. Coming through that water, though, you can see just how much moisture there is there now. A big splash as they come across. Both of them keeping good proximity. And we have one of our cleaner battles of the day, as far as proximity goes, happening under these difficult conditions. Great job by both drivers there.
Man, oh man, that was wild. Now we have Andrew Grindle in the lead and Leo in the chase. This rain is just going down right now, and here they go. Andrew Grindle coming out here with a flirtatious initiation, going to that first outer zone and riding that bumper on that wall, being as aggressive as possible. That Grindle Garage Chevy Corvette missing inner clip 1, but transitioning to inner clip 2. Is he able to make it? I think he does touch it, going to outer zone 2, flirting with it, and then getting back on throttle all the way through to the end of it. Looks like a possible 2-tire drop on that final outer zone, but the judges are going to be looking at it. If you're look at Leo, he is going swimming with the Chevy Corvette. It's kind of like one of those moments when you're a child and you jump into the big puddles to see how big it is.
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts, I think, just won there at the end, and I don't blame him. That puddle is massive now. Just want to be a little bit careful, though. You don't want to hydrolock your engine there.
This is going to be a weird one because Andreas and Andrew could kind of be a tongue twister.
So here we go, Andrew versus Andrew. Only one Andrew can take it all as we come into the first corner. Messner getting up on the wall, doing a great job getting an outside zone. Grindle having a little trouble adjusting, but taking that midline to close the gap. Messner doing a good job as he comes down off that outside clip. Here he's going to have to make a good line, get confidence to come through here. Andrew Grindle doing a great job on proximity as they both almost crab walk through the water. Ooh, both of them almost came completely out of drift there, trying to recover in that transition. We're going to have to see the replay, but for right now, Messner making his way around. And this is the completion of the first run of the battle of which Andrew will get to be the real Andrew. There can only be one. Similar, but the Andreas, he's coming around. He's getting way more confident with his car. Andrew Grindle has been uncharacteristically making some mistakes today.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those situations where it's kind of like you've got two different slopes kind of lining up with each other and could make for a really great battle. It was a great first run. Let's see if the second run's going to follow. Immediately a gap establishes. Andrew Grindle throws himself to the outside. Messner's got some homework to do if he wants to get caught up. He's coming around the outside. Andrew making contact with that wall again. We know he's not afraid to touch it and rub it on his way out as we go ahead and convert through this transition. Messner getting through that water, and man, Grindle just having a huge splash as he comes through that puddle. We might have to add some soak zone warnings to the seats over there on the other side of the track as they come around. So clean runs, once again a gap. I think the judges are going to have some work to do to just figure out who was able to do it in a more tidy fashion. Gets the win. Andrew Grindle gets the win and is moving on. There we go. Andrew Grindle gets the win. I love the new graphic. That is so cool. We're going to keep that around.
I feel like Andrew is smiling in that picture. Here we go. We're first lap of our battle. Tyler Hess in the lead. Andrew Grindle in the chase. Here we go. Andrew Grindle with that Chevy Corvette coming in with a nice initiation in the chase, going to try to, oh no, looks like he straightened out just a little bit. Oh, and the chase was struggling to try to, oh no, a double zero pop, and it looked like he almost nailed him.
Yeah, he made some contact with him in the puddle there. That could have been a lot worse. I do believe Andrew Grindle already had the zero there, so I think I would have just, if I were him, where the zero was committed, it was the straighten and then the understeering where he was just straight scrubbing. If you turn in and you understeer while you're still sliding, the car is still sliding by definition, but when it comes to being straight and then turning and then understeering, at that point Grindle warranted a zero. So it's good that damage wasn't too much. If I was him and I had to, I knew a zero already happened, I probably wouldn't recommit to be too aggressive. But that right there is exactly what we were just talking about. The bank is now dry, and in the moment you come off the bank, you're met with a puddle. So it's very difficult because now you've got all this speed, and it's going to be harder to just make sure that there's none of that tension in the car of it wanting to pivot or rotate when you're being introduced to that water, because that's where it's going to show, and that's exactly what we just saw with the lead car.
And here is the final lap of our seating bracket. Andrew Grindle is now in the lead. Tyler Hess in the chase. with the BMW. Andrew Grindle, nice little initiation going to that first outer zone, but I don't think he's actually touching that first outer zone. Here's Tyler Hess trying to reel in the proximity. Andrew Grindle just goes straight into the pond. And Tyler Hess is just going to continue on with the lap. I am not too sure. Maybe Andrew Grindle, I think Andrew Grindle was understeering going to the inner clip, and then he just caught grip from the front tires, and it made him dive straight into that big lake we have in the middle of OSW.
We got the answer from the judges. Tyler Hess gets the win. Tyler Hess gets the win, and that's the winner of your seating bracket. So we will be back later this afternoon. We're going to go ahead and go on to that practice session. Thank you guys so much for being with us for the seating bracket. If you stayed with us, watched the whole thing, or just got here, don't worry, there's more to come. And this again was US Drift Circuit Round 3 at OSW, brought to you by Autosports Engineering, Drift HQ, Link ECU, OMP Racing, Taxi Garage, Kenda Tires, Claim Defenders, Fly Day Drones, and many, many more. We'll be right back.
We do have these guys out here. Here we go. Andrew Grindle in the lead. Tom Merman in the chase.
Yeah, these cars look so similar. It's tough to tell sometimes.
Here he is. Andrew Grindle is trying to keep that drift going through outer zone 1. Oh my goodness, he was flirting with that wall. It looks like he understeered and luckily ducked out of it, because it looked like you would have hit that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, Andrew Grindle's been having some trouble. We were talking about it, and I was trying to find him walking around the paddock, and I couldn't quite seem to get him down, but I was really interested in what's going on, because when we come to our other events, I mean, he is just one of the top guys always. We see him near the top 8 almost, just very consistently. So, sad to see what's going on there. Maybe he was anticipating he could be down on power, but either way, that looked like it was a fight all the way around the corner.
And this is a track that Andrew Grindle is very, very competitive in, and it's just the weather here. It's becoming a big struggle for even the most seasoned guys out here. But now we have Tom Merman in the lead.
Yeah, I think it's very possible he could just have something going on with his vehicle.
I feel that's more likely the case. All right, we got Tom Merman in the lead, Andrew Grindle in the chase. Tom Merman is trying to get to that first outer zone and fill it out. And here's Andrew Grindle lower on the bank to try to keep that proximity. And Tom Merman's going into inner clip 1, able to kind of flirt with it, but it looks like he went off track on going to the inner clip 2. Now Tom is able to go all the way through to the second outer zone, but falls off. Looks like Andrew had to shut down in the middle of that run. We got the replay going. Andrew Grindle does a great job being aggressive in the chase, but then it looked like he has a lot of forward bite going down that bank. Man, he's usually the one that's flirting with the outer walls on that first outer zone, and then you see Tom Merman dropping the tire, but able to continue through the lap, and the judges are gonna figure out who made the most mistakes, see who's going to be moving on.
All right, so as you just saw, not the best turnout. Did really good in the seating bracket, and then when it came to the final competition, it was very patchy, dry up on the bank and very wet down in the center. And I had an issue with the car I was fighting all day, where the car was just getting too much grip under power. And we finally figured out why it's doing that, which I'll show you, and I kind of covered it in my previous video. But basically, I was I've got dynamic tow in the Corvette with the arms here, and I'll show you. So I previously had these FDF big brakes with dynamic tow here, right? And with the new WiseFab kit, it added another pickup point here that also added dynamic tow. And they're both adjustable, right? So I put it at the minimum setting, thinking that that would just not give me tow at all. But in reality, it just put it to the minimum setting, and with the amount of travel on the BCs, it was still adding just a crazy amount of tow under load. So as the car squatted and got gripped up in the dry, it would tow in like 1 to 2 inches. And we got a video of it actually on the same run where the transmission broke, where it was just towing in, and then it would hit a wet patch and it would just aggressively flick back out to neutral. And then I'd get under load and it would kind of like shift a little bit in the wet, and then as soon as it hit dry, it would just grip up like crazy, shock the drivetrain, and eventually just gave out and pretty much just made the transmission fail inside the differential too. And so we lost all the gears, dropped fluid everywhere, all over the place. So I have to drop all this out. I don't really know which route I'm gonna go yet, but I do have some plans in the works. So either A, we just repair this and fix the tow issue, the dynamic tow. I've already got a kit on the way that someone has custom made, where it's going to give me much larger larger surface area brakes, but much lighter brakes. So it's going to be all Willwood with a custom bracket, so I can fit bigger brakes on there without having that FDF modification where it changes the pickup point. So we use that with the factory knuckles. That'll fix that problem. And then I probably am also going to do a dog box with a quick change, which is pretty expensive. Really didn't want to have to go that route, but it might be the only move just to stop having to spend so much time and money taking the transmission and diff apart on these transaxle cars. So there is the chance of another car potentially coming along the way that would replace the Corvette, and then I'd either keep the Corvette and sell the Z, or sell the Corvette and keep the Z. I don't know yet. So we'll get started on that. We'll update you guys down the road. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out on the social media, because if I do get a new car, you guys are gonna really love it. I've been trying to negotiate with someone for a Pro Spec car. It's a winning Pro Spec car, so make sure you follow along and check that out. Thanks.